JBN, we keep you informed. Two suspected goat thieves killed in rural St Anne. Two men are dead after allegedly embarking on a criminal mission to steal goats in the rural district of Middlesex in St Anne. One of the deceased men has been identified as Trevor Lee Osang, a taxi operator of Retreat St Mary. The other has not been identified by the police. A third man was allegedly also a part of the goat stealing mission is now in police custody. The incident unfolded late Tuesday evening when residents of Middlesex, a community between Guys Hill and Monique, saw three men traveling in a Toyota Probox motorcar with what appeared to be a goat. It is further reported that a licensed firearm holder on seeing the car signaled to the driver to stop, but a shootout ensued. The motorcar then crashed along a section of the roadway. The two male passengers then ran from the vehicle, leaving the driver behind. The driver, later identified as Leo Sang, was found suffering from injuries he sustained in the crash, and he subsequently died. A goat was also found inside the vehicle. Meanwhile, the other two men were cornered in a community near Monique called Turberry. One was shot to death, and the other man, said to be in his 20s from a St Mary address, was speared and apprehended by the police. The Guys Hill police and the Monique police have launched a probe into the bizarre incidents. Over the years, Middlesex and rural communities of St Anne have been plagued by predial thieves. Despite making numerous reports to the police, farmers continue to suffer from the hands of criminals who have stolen their livestock and crops. This has resulted in residents taking action by executing jungle justice on hoodlums. In April of 2016, an unidentified man accused of stealing cows was killed by angry residents on Mines Road in Clapham, Monique. His accomplice was spared and handed over to the police. That incident came within a week after two men, 37-year-old Dave Campbell, a taxi operator, and a 22-year-old Alfonso Perry, both from Limewall, St Anne, were killed by angry residents of Bensontown, Claremont, also in St Anne, after allegedly being caught with stolen goats inside their vehicle. Two policemen convicted of 2009 killing of Kingston man. Two policemen who were assigned to the now disbanded Mobile Reserve Unit were on Thursday convicted of the controversial killing of a man in central Kingston 10 years ago. By majority decision, Constable Gareth Davis was convicted of murder, while Constable Christabel Smith was found guilty of manslaughter by a 7-member jury in the gun court in downtown Kingston. Gun court cases are closed to the public. The victim, Omar Marshall, was shot 9 times inside his yard at 16 Blake Road on October 9, 2009. The two cops were part of a police team that went to the premises under the supervision of a superintendent. Eyewitnesses reportedly testified that Marshall was urinating at the fence in the front yard when the 4 cops entered, held him, and dragged him to the back of the premises, where he was shot by the convicted policeman. One eyewitness insisted that Marshall did not have anything in his hands when he was shot, and said he told the police he was preparing to go to the airport to meet his mother. The cops told him that his mother was coming to bury him before they each shot him, the witness reportedly testified. The policemen claimed in their defense that they were patrolling in the area when they saw Marshall, who they did not know before, running from the roadway to the premises on Blake Road. They said they chased him to the back of the premises, where he turned to face them with a gun in his hand. Both cops said they fired in self-defense. A gun, which was said to be in Marshall's hand at the time, was handed over by the cops, a claim which was reportedly refuted by witnesses. Another man arrested in gun seizure. Another man is in custody following the seizure of a gun and several rounds of ammunition at Green Island in the parish yesterday. Reports from the Green Island police are that lawmen were on an operation in the area between 4:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. when the man was accosted and searched. A Taurus 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 3 9mm rounds of ammunition was found in his possession. He was arrested. However, his identity has been withheld pending further investigations, the police said. Police records clerk pleads guilty of soliciting money. A records clerk who was charged for breaches of the Corruption Prevention Act by the Inspectorate and Professional Standards Oversight Bureau, IPROB, on Thursday pleaded guilty in the Kingston and St Andrew Parish Court. According to the police's Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, Horace Gale, was arrested on Monday, November 11, after he was accosted during a sting operation conducted by iProbe, accepting $45,000 he had earlier arranged to collect. CCU said the sum was the remainder of a total of $110,000 he had solicited to produce and deliver a clean police record for an applicant who is ineligible based on the applicant's criminal record. Gale pleaded guilty to one count of soliciting and accepting under the Act. He has been remanded for sentencing on Monday, November 25 at the Kingston and St Andrew Parish Court, the CCU said. Plainclothes cop shoots man during robbery. A man who allegedly tried to rob a plainclothes policeman and was shot in the process is now in police custody. The incident took place in Montego Bay, St. James on Tuesday afternoon. The police say they are unable to release the identity of the accused at this early stage as he may have to face an identification parade. Reports by the Freeport Police are that about 8:30 p.m., the constable was walking along Port Avenue in the direction of the Freeport Police Station where he is stationed. On reaching a section of the roadway, a motor car with two men on board pulled up beside him. The cop was asked if he wanted a taxi. Before he could respond, one man armed with a handgun jumped out and held him at gunpoint. The man demanded that the cop hand over his wallet, cell phone, and a headset which he was wearing. After robbing him, the perpetrator was in the process of boarding the motor car when the lawman pulled his licensed gun and challenged him. The robber received gunshot wounds but managed to jump back into the getaway car which sped away. The lawman went to the Freeport Police Station and made a report. An investigation was later carried out at the Cornell Regional Hospital, where a man fitting the description of the armed robber turned up at the hospital to be treated for gunshot wounds. He was interviewed, and after being unable to tell how and where he was shot, he was immediately placed under police guard. A police source said that they have been on the trail of armed robbers posing as taxi operators and robbing persons transacting business on the Fairview shopping complex for some time now. Councillors tussle over St Catherine dengue cases. Less than 48 hours after Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced a $1.3 billion mitigation program to combat the deadly dengue outbreak, councillors of the St Catherine Municipal Corporation engaged in a sparring match, accusing each other of playing politics with the disease. There have been 44 deaths among 6,114 suspected cases of dengue in Jamaica since January, and the disease has spiraled to record levels across the Americas with 1,206 fatalities from 2.7 million cases up to October, according to the Pan American Health Organization. Councillors attending Thursday's monthly general meeting of the corporation traded barbs about the authenticity of information provided by Chief Public Health Officer for the parish, Grayson Hutchinson, who said that the epidemic was contained in the parish and that the health department had not been notified of any new cases since last month's report was delivered. People's National Party PNP councillors who formed the majority, led by Chairman Norman Scott, were unrelenting in criticizing the report. I don't know how to reconcile the two, but Mr. Hutchinson, the facts on the ground are saying something else, said Scott, who is also mayor of the capital Spanish Town. Think about the mother who spoke to me about watching her young child die from dengue very recently, and this is just one of many cases. What we have is an inadequate health system that is not responding to the needs of the people. Scott argued that previous allocations for dengue mitigation activities seem to be misdirected, a position supported by all members of his caucus. But Grayson hit back at the mayor's assertion, saying that the accuracy of the report was beyond debate. I will not accept that the ministry is not doing its job in relation to the dengue outbreak. We are doing what is required by us and we are seeing positive results, Hutchinson said. We have not received any notification for the period and no confirmed cases have come to our attention. Jamaica Labour Party JLP councillors pushed back at the chairman, accusing him of playing politics with a deadly epidemic. Kenisha Gordon, council of the Spanish Town Division, rapped her PNP counterparts, charging that they were more intent on towing the party line than reining in dengue. Mr. Chairman, it seems to me that my colleague councillors on the other side would prefer to see people die so that they can grandstand and score political points from the dengue outbreak rather than playing their part, said Gordon. We are entitled to our own opinions, but not our own facts, Gordon stated. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.